but we do not know when. He'll hopefully be messaging me about it soon. But regardless, I thought we will continue anyway with 3 people because they all sound jovial and happy to be here at WizardCon. So, shall we begin?
Yes.
Yeah?
Let's buy some
Okay.
stuff.
Mm-hmm.
More stuff. Can't afford more stuff. Anyway,
Mm.
welcome back, everyone. And no, you cannot buy more stuff. We can, but only if you can afford it. Last time, our group of adventurers, as much as we can call them that,
Rude.
the Rhapsody of Horns.
Oh yeah.
Cat, Kay, Curve, Romulus, and Vinny. After successfully acquiring a rather large sum of money, some errant gemstones, and some blood crystals, as well as a few magic items, they left their little quarry after dealing with the dwarves to the north of Farganuk, heading back and proclaiming their victory, claiming the bounty, and with the help of one house wizard, arrived at WizardCon the next day. At WizardCon, the party began to move around for their various needs, with Curve and Vinny otherwise heading off to explore the magic item section, Kay getting lost in the crowd, and Romulus and Cat going and exploring the focus cellars and the ingredients therein. Having gathered themselves and had a careful look around, the party are now back together for the time being, as all of you otherwise are uh, wandering around or have regathered yourselves with the distribution of money as accordance to the magic items that you bought and such from that. You otherwise have the festival to yourselves. Looking around, you can see what look to be various food vendors, a large food vendor and drinks vendor. You can see scroll vendors. You can see material component vendors selling paper and ink. You can obviously still see the magic item vendor if you wish to purchase from them any further. You can see what looks to be various book vendors as well. A few odd tents here and there of what look to be individuals that are set around. A few of them of what look to be groups of wizards heading into one and talking. You can see a few booths set up with individuals behind with what looks to be pieces of paper and kind of quills, and they're sat there talking to a few individuals and noting a few things down. You can see a robe vendor not far from here who is selling what looks to be different kinds of hats and robes. You can see, as you noticed, or as you noted, Cat and Romulus, when Romulus is here, there is a cataloger's tent as well, with what looks to be the symbol otherwise emblazoned on the top of the tent itself, and a few individuals walking around in front, kind of talking, and the tent itself seems to open up onto the interior, where you can see a number of plaques and boards that are set up with what look to be information on different creatures and the like. You also see what looks to be potion vendors, and as you were pointed to, oh no, you weren't pointed to the, oh no, you were pointed to the alchemical material vendor. You can see them not far from here, kind of a quaint little stand, otherwise pulled from what looks to be the side of a carriage, with all manner of hanging ingredients, jars, vials, and bottles of various materials hanging from it. There is also, from what you can see, an enchantment material vendor selling the crystals, which I believe you've already paid for and picked up.
Yep.
But you may explore there and go back there and see what they might have on in store.
Okay. Right here.
The day is otherwise welcoming to all of you. It is a sunny weather, and surprisingly, there is not a cloud in the sky around Braylin. But the streets are beginning to get more busy as the day continues, with more residents showing up with what look to be kids wandering around in mock-up wizard hats and just wearing their best robes and whatever it may be, holding sticks and pretending to be wizards, and a few of them are wandering around with a bit more intent. You also note that there is a good number of wizards also walking around here, different styles and appearances, and all manner of individuals from all over, it would seem. There will look to be a few that have come from the Beastlands, quite a lot of elves that you note who are a bit more, not necessarily noble, a little bit more stuck up to a certain degree, who are, from what you can generally tell, keeping away from most people, but they tend to keep to small cliques or groups. And then there's the occasional kind of lone rogue wizard who's wandering around doing their own thing.
Mm. Okay. Are there any other centaurs here?
Yeah, there's what looks to be like one or two, but they aren't abundant by any means.
Okay.
They do note kind of your presence and kind of give you a wave, and with Romulus nearby as well, you seem to be a presence there. Not ones that you recognize by any means, but centaurs nonetheless.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. That's fine.
You know that there is quite a few dwarves, but other than that, it's a general mixing of a lot of different individuals and characters.
Okay. Right, I'm good for the time being then. Okay, right. Where do you want to go? I've got several places I want to check out.
Are we currently all together?
Yeah, currently all together. Yeah.
I am very excited and I show off my new what was it called? The belt.
The belt of dwarven kind. Yeah.
Like show it off and then I put it on.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh, that looks fancy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd you
Taking
get
a
that?
little.
Sorry, what was that?
Where did you get that from?
I vaguely point over to the direction of the stall, but I'm
Yeah.
much more excited about the belt.
Yeah. You see this large, otherwise curved stall that's in place with two individuals manning each of the large curved tables, with all manner of what look to be displayed magical items, just kind of hanging around, and you can see a lot of price tags on them. A few individuals kind of talk about a few things and then wander off, but you can see that there seems to be a multitude of different magical items here.
Okay. I mean, I'm gonna go over quickly. I mean, yeah. See what they've fleetingly got, and
Mhm.
I mean, I have every intention of getting the amulet of health, but Cat doesn't know
Yep.
it's there yet. So
No, that's fine.
I might want
Um,
to stick around just while I put it on.
oh, okay. I'll stick
Oh.
around.
You'll have to attune to it first, which will take a little bit of a
Oh.
rest, but that's all right.
It's
It won't take long. I know it's a belt. It's still attunement.
No,
It,
I
you,
want
it must take
now.
take time to get used to you, and you it, because it needs to shrink to your proportions. Because currently it's quite a thick belt for your proportions.
What was the vendor trying to say?
It's designed for a dwarf.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Curve will
So
try
heading-
and put it on and then fail. And
Yeah.
Yeah,
And let it attune to you over the course of that. Mhm.
In similar fashion, Vinny is walking around in boots of speed that are, at the moment, about a size too big for him.
Yeah, this is true.
Oh dear.
Yeah,
But they do look good, so
they do.
That's not
And
much.
currently, you also have the bow as well, which currently is. It's quite a small short bow. It seems to have been designed with or at the very least, previously used by what you can only suspect may have been a halfling. So for you, it currently looks like a very dainty, like toy bow of this very nice looking kind of white and marbled purple wood, with what looks to be two feathers on either end that kind of have a light golden sheen to them as you hold the bow. But it's dainty for you currently, as it begins to adjust to your size over time.
I'll keep it stored inside the quiver for now.
Okay. Yeah. Slowly
So
gets
I'm
bigger.
Walking around carrying around a toy bow.
Yeah, that's fair. So, Kat, you otherwise approach the stand and the stall, and you can see what looks to be a female Ishlan elf standing there, otherwise kind of conveying and talking to a few individuals, and what looks to be a Fluxian not too far off on the other stall, otherwise proceeding to work. As you kind of get a quick glance over the items here, you can see all manner of magic items that could serve different potentials, different uses. But there is what looks to be more of a restricted stock, but multiple of each item.
Okay.
Really sorry, BRB.
That's
I
right.
will look them over.
Okay. Yeah. Looking them over, you see the list that I posted last session, as you otherwise have a look through, and you note the amulet of health on the that would be on the Elven's table.
Okay. You know, yeah, no, that's cool. Excuse me.
Yes.
Can
May I help?
Can I get that, please?
It's quite out of your price range, I would have thought. Um,
Wow.
it
It's an assumption, isn't
it
it? No, it's. I can understand. Yes, I do look very young,
um,
but trust me, I wouldn't have asked if I couldn't afford it.
well then, kind of places a hand out for the coin.
Okay, I'll hand over 220
20
platinum.
to which she receives it with kind of this almost moment of horror of like, oh, this is actual coin. Looks it over, kind of gives you a squinted glance of what you suspect at a glance is just suspicion, but you're not entirely sure, before she puts the bag to one side and kind of does this quick glyphical gesture in the air, and you watch as a light glow around the amulet, otherwise holding it slightly off of the cushion that it's placed above, dissipates as the amulet falls to the cushion. She lifts the amulet up and passes it over to you. Well, there you are. Thank you very much for your purchase.
No worries. Well, thank you for enabling me, I guess. But no. Have an amazing wizard con. And Sychania will sort of nod as well and gesture.
Thank you, you too. And sees Sychania again, squints and looks suspiciously at you as you wander off. Your new magical item in tow, which you will also attune to over the course of that.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely fine.
Make sure just to write down what your con score was, just to the left of where you're writing it in on your core page.
I will be doing that.
Yeah, because it will now be 19, which will give you a lot of health.
My con is 13, and then
I just want to know, what was your old health and what is your new health?
Old health is 35 at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
New health is... Oh, I need to go on the core, don't I, and do that.
Yeah.
Core new health is 56.
Nice.
Nearly doubled my hit points.
Yep. Nice. A nice and tanky wizard now.
Well, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves here.
I can now attack a cat without feeling bad.
Oh no, I'm still such a delicate thing. Please don't.
Yeah, I know you are. You might get hit by the errant casting of another spell.
Yes.
Alright.
More likely
So,
to blow
you
myself up.
Yeah, you head back to the rest of the party. You can see a few individuals are, again, looking around, going to the various stalls and travelling to and from. What would you like to do?
Okay, I need to get some alchemy plants, and then I need to go over to the scroll/book store, because I need to get some ink and paper too. But I also need to get a chest. I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to get one of them from.
Just a normal chest, or like a human chest?
Just a normal chest. You know, put stuff in, chest.
Good choice.
It's not for me. It's a component.
Finney's point still stands.
Well, I guess technically it's for me. It will be mine. Possession is complicated at that point.
Yeah, this has gotten away from you a bit, hasn't it?
But
yeah, we'll find somewhere to make somewhere that sells chests or whatever.
Okay, cool. Well,
probably a carpenter in town or something.
Yeah, I believe on your way through you did know that there were a few general stores in the fact that or artisanal trade stores, so there would be a carpenter in town from what you could gather, but you haven't necessarily come across one.
Okay, no, that's cool. Okay, well, where do you want to head to first? I mean, the alchemy plant the alchemy plant store is over there and they sell stuff, so do you want to go check that one out, or do you got other things in mind you want to check out?
I don't have tons I need to look for. Potions are the only thing I was thinking I might have a look around at, so I'm happy to go see an alchemy store.
Okay.
I would like to tag along because of curiosity.
Okay. So, heading over to the alchemy material vendor, you head over and you can see that it is the carriage previously described with different what look to be hanging dried plants. You can see what look to be vials and jars filled with a few to be singular strands of some plant, with the jars containing more of a matted tangle of plants inside of them. You can see bottles of other materials mixed in, and what look to be some pre-made solutions of some form that are also tied to all of this as well. As you otherwise approach, you can see that there's one individual otherwise shopping, or looks to be an elven or initial an elf of some form, kind of looking around for the moment before kind of wandering off. The gnomish figure that otherwise kind of sits on a small stool with a knife, just kind of picking bits from under his nail, just kind of looks up and goes, "And you travellers, what can I get for you here at WizardCon?"
Well, I mean, to start with, I need 2 alchemy plants, but
Any particular kind?
Uh,
Any particular remedy or pain you may need cured? Any use that you might need them for?
I'm going to be using them for a summoning.
For a summoning.
Mm-hmm.
What kind?
Elemental. And I need 2 at 50 GP's value.
That should be simple enough to get. Um, Has a quick look around and look through their stock. These should be nice and simple. You said elemental. Any kind of element specifically? Earth, water, air, fire.
One's earth, one's thunder. Or lightning.
Right, 2 different ones. In which case, I would recommend, otherwise, kind of walks over, climbs up the small ladder, and picks what looks to be a dried, almost sprig of this thin stem with thick brown leaves that otherwise sprout off of the edges of it. The leaves are otherwise dried in this instance and are a little bit curled, almost as if cooked or baked under the sun. As he otherwise holds it close and goes, this is marsh fern. This will serve your purpose and will aid you with your summoning. It has a errant earthy texture and effect to it. For the most part, it is also a curant as well, and will help with, from what I can only describe as an antitoxin, shall we say. Nature's antitoxin.
Oh, that's useful to know.
So that's a one, and you were after another one for thunder, you said.
Lightning.
Lightning. What does it need to be a plant? You said alchemical ingredients, or does it need to be a herb?
A plant or herb. Either or.
Well, kind of has a little think for a moment, scratching it, kind of a rather small beard to them, as they otherwise have a quick look around their stock. Lightning is a difficult one to come by.
Or is it thunder? Now I'm questioning myself. Oh, it is thunder. That's entirely my bad. Yes, thunder.
Thunder. Thunder isn't the most common of things that you might find. And fresh herbs, anyway. Let's see. You said it has to be a plant of some form.
Well, it's something of nature origin. It's going to be a thunder earth elemental. That one, while the first one is just strictly earth.
A thunder earth elemental. Okay. I may have something for this. And otherwise goes into what looks to be a rather large crate of some form and begins to dig through these just pieces of these vials, and just pulling them up, having a look at them. No, not that one. Maybe this one? No. Aha! This should hopefully do the trick. And kind of pulls out what looks to be a vial of finely ground, almost white material of some form. This is a mineral, as opposed to a plant of any particular kind, but it may aid you with this. It does hold the elements of earth and air, as you may need, in the form of thunder. This is soapstone.
Okay.
And otherwise, kind of takes the vial and puts it with the marsh fern leaves that you've chosen. This will potentially work for the purposes of what you're trying to achieve. If you're looking for less of an earthy texture to whatever you're summoning, there are other possibilities as well. I have metal shavings, I have plants, I have bone meal, I have various seeds and pods, I have powdered shells, roots, bits of cartilage and sinew, I have muscle textures, petals, skin, along with some basic materials as well, and bases, if this is for one, but that would be more for alchemical purposes. Along with all manner of different oils that can be extracted from plants.
Okie pokey. Okay. Chris, canonically, what would make more sense? An ingot or metal shavings? Because I need to get...
Metal shavings would serve the same purpose as an ingot,
Okay.
just the ingot would be more expensive.
That's fine, I need a GP values worth anyway. What metal shavings have you got?
Metal shavings wise, we have anything from iron, bronze, tin, shavings of pewter, brass, zinc, silver, lead, bricks, gold, a little bit of platinum in here as well, a few mithril shavings. But if you're looking for something cheaper, you said 50 gold pieces worth?
I need 50 GP for the 2 different elementals, yes.
Right. Well, I might recommend, and goes over, finds a vial, just kind of gives it a look through a few of them, another crate of different types for pulling one out, and comes back with it. This is a bronze mix, a mix of copper and tin. Copper being more aligned to a bit of a fire element effect, whereas tin is more aligned to air. The earthy nature of it is more what you would get as a result of it being an alloy. So you'd get a little bit of an errant element in there if that's not going to be a problem, but for the most part it would still function the same.
Okay. Then, and that would work for both elementals, in theory.
In theory, yes. As an alloy it would hold the earth element, but it's more tied to each of the primal aspects. But bronze would serve your purpose and meet your cost that you're trying to meet. Otherwise, cast iron would also work for just the earth texture if you're after.
Okay. Can I take 50 of bronze and 50 of cast iron?
Instead of the marsh fan?
No, that's something completely different. I need 100
Oh.
GP's worth for the 2 of them, split over the 2 different...
Oh, I see. Of course. My mistake.
No, that's
Otherwise...
absolutely not a problem.
Then, yes, that should be quite alright. So that'll be bronze shavings, cast iron shavings, and marsh fern. Is there anything else that you might be interested in? Any particular ingredients or pieces that you might be after?
Mushroom. Yeah, and I've got
I'll just read.
the soapstone
Hold
as
on a
well.
minute. I just realised I forgot to turn that back off after the last time. There you go.
200. No.
And the soapstone as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's... Nope, I think that is everything that I would need.
Very well then. What about the rest of you? Your 2 companions. Anything in particular you would be after? Any dry ingredients, wet ingredients, looking to take up alchemy of any form?
Trust me, if you don't have a hell goose, I'm good.
I don't have any, no.
Hmm.
I've been trying to get my hands on powdered shell of one. There have been talks of hell eggs being handed down south of here.
1 sec.
Down south. Is that where
Yes.
we're from? Sorry.
Yes, it was, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, individuals have been selling. From what I have heard, individuals have been selling goose eggs. I heard it from one of the cooks here in town as opposed to anywhere else, and they mentioned that there might be hell geese. If you did come across any hell goose eggs, on the other hand, I'd be quite happy to take them off your hand for a good price. The shells are very useful, and the inside can be put into a substrate and used to make pickled hell goose eggs, which are useful and tasty.
Maybe next time.
Very well. Back, Simon?
Yes. Yeah, sorry. I'm
Yeah.
back.
Anything that you might want, sir?
I'm probably okay. I don't really have much of a skill at alchemy. I was just hoping to just have a look around
Ah.
to see what you had here.
Fair enough. Well, I hope you all take care, and thank you very much for your purchase, young lady, and hopefully your summoning goes well.
Thank you. Yeah, I hope so too.
Otherwise, gives a nod and waves you off.
Do you guys have anywhere else you need to go?
Alright, so my shopping list. I've got such a long shopping list. Okay, I need to get some paper and ink. I've got the alchemy plants. Sweet.
I like to think the list is as long as Cat is.
It is literally like half a page here of random crap that I've written down.
Yeah. You need to go to the enchantment material vendor. You need to go to the... if you want to go to the book or the scroll vendor, both sell ink and paper. Just scroll vendor also has the opportunity to pick up spells.
The enchantment vendor. Do I
Yeah.
need to get the crystals, or have we already done that with the rest?
We'll say you can head to the enchantment vendor and
Okay.
pick those up if you want.
Yep.
You've already paid the coinage, just
Yeah. Okay.
animation of it up.
What's closest, the scroll one or the enchantment vendor?
From here, it would be the enchantment vendor. Well, the enchantment vendor that you can see anyway. Go ahead and roll me an investigation check just to see which one you spot, because there are two different ones.
Oh, let's go. What my rolling investigation was that?
Yep.
Actually, my investigation, that's not too bad. That's a 10.
Okay. A 10. Looking around, you can quite clearly see what looks to be a tabaxi tello, otherwise kind of leant back to one side of their stall. What looks to be a rather large tent with various display cases, ingredients and crystal otherwise laid out, as they're otherwise leaning to one side, just kind of looking around. A few individuals do come in and kind of shop for a moment as they sell a few things, what looks to be from a display of crystals that they have in the back, before sending them on their way, kind of nodding and smiling before heading back in the tent for a little bit. With the investigation, I'll say you also note there is another enchantment tent further up, but you do not know who mans it.
Okay. Okay. I'll go to the one that's... What direction is the scroll one? Would the scroll stall be in the direction of the other one?
Yes, it'll be further up from the other one.
Okay.
Yeah, you know roughly where it is because you saw the large area where they're storing scrolls.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, we can have a look at this one and then go to scroll one and check out the other one. I mean, I need to pick up 3 enchanting crystals, tier 3 enchanting crystals, and I've got these 2 that I also need to sell. Actually, it might be an idea to go to him first and see what he can offer for these.
In the enchanting store, you mean?
Mm-hmm. I need to sell... I've got 2 enchanting crystals here, a tier 1 and a tier 2. I need to sell these.
Right, and then buy the tier 3s.
I need to buy 3 tier 3s. Are you any good at selling? I've seen people selling and they do this the haggling. I don't understand how that works and I don't want to upset people. You any good at this?
I could give it a go. I mean, normally stuff like this has a fixed trade price, but I could certainly try. How much do you think it's worth? The stuff you're selling, or the things you buy?
Should be able to get 150 for the two. Is that correct, Chris?
Yeah, 50 for the tier 1 and then 100 for the tier 2.
Should be 150-ish for the two.
Okay.
And I'll stand next to you looking intimidated.
I don't think we need to intimidate them. But
Yeah, you have Romulus with you, worst comes to
Oh,
worst.
that's true.
So, yeah, I'll let him use his intimidation score. Seems like a Romulus thing to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay. Well,
And how much would the ones you want to buy be as well?
I need to buy 3 tier 3s, so they're going to be 750 gold each. For the 3 of them. Sorry. So 250 each.
Okay.
Okay.
Head over there then.
Right, should we give that a go?
Okay. You head over to the otherwise not necessarily large tent, but a large enough tent. As you head inside, the Tello Tabaxi otherwise turns around. Ah, new customers. Welcome, welcome. Kind of looks around all of you. You're well. Only one of you seems to look like a wizard, but that doesn't stop anybody from enchanting now. What can I do to help you all? Anything in particular you'd be after? Any crystals, infusion stones, bits and pieces for summoning friends? More expensive ingredients at all?
This is the place you wanted to sell, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yes, we were wondering if you might be in the market for some enchanting crystals.
Well, I have plenty to sell. I have a wide collection of tier 1s through 5, if you're interested, with a few select ones for 6 and above.
Okay. What do you think?
Yeah. You know, I'm just at this point, I'm bad at haggling. I'm really bad at this. I don't do very well. So here I go. So I can't help myself. I need to sell these 2. Gesturing to the ones that Vinny's got, and then I need to buy 3 tier 3s.
So you're looking to pass on your old ones to me?
Yes.
Well, that won't go for a good price, I'm afraid. Enchantment crystals, as nice as they are, old ones don't always provide the same, or perform the same as they would when they're newer, freshly ready and harvested. I can take a look and I can see what price they might be if you're willing to do a trade, but not really too much in the business for buying. I can give them a look.
If you could, it's
Would I be able to do an insight check to see if he's being honest?
Go for it. What do we got here?
That is a 9.
A 9. You see as he otherwise looks over the enchantment crystals, he kind of looks at them for the moment and kind of takes a close look at them, kind of looks back, frowns a little bit. That insight, you can tell that he's playing it off that they aren't great crystals. They're still very functional and very much worth their price, but he's playing it off that they're not. And I'd say that I believe everybody here, except for Cat, would realise that. Because Cat's the only one with a sub 10 insight.
Yeah.
And they did not roll very well. Before they turn back and they go, these crystals aren't particularly that great, I'm afraid. I will buy them off you for a cheaper amount. I'll say 30 gold for the tier 1 and 70 gold for the tier 2. And then my ones are the tier 3. I can sell for you for the 250 for the standard price, as they are standard issue.
I'll look at Vinny. Does that sound right?
It's okay. It is a little more than I think we were hoping to be spending.
Well, I mean, the crystals are as they are. It's I don't make the rules.
Oh, certainly not, but surely you could still get some good use out of these crystals.
I'd just be selling them on, and, well, if they aren't quite standard issue, I can't really sell them on, can I?
So you don't want them then?
I offered the price that I offered for them.
See, I was kind of hoping that if we handed ours over to you and swapped them for yours, we could part for maybe somewhere in the region of about 600.
That would be a bit. That would be considering them as standard issue, I'm afraid. Go ahead and roll me a persuasion check. I'll say with Curve's insight, you may re-roll it, but you do not have advantage. You must choose whether you wish to keep your roll or... Oh, well, you're not going to re-roll it. There's no point.
Is it a good roll?
It is a good roll.
It's a 19. Plus
Yeah.
whatever.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a 29.
Okay.
Ooh.
He looks at you and goes, no, that sounds like a... You know what? That sounds like a fair price. I'll take them off your hand and I'll sell you the 3 tier 3s for, what was it, 600? There's a discounted price for taking these tier 1 and tier 2?
Yeah, that's fine.
Then we shall go with that. And does the exchange, so you get the full price on them.
Yep, no, that's cool. Right, that's another thing done.
Yeah, 600 doesn't lose us more than they ought to have been.
No, it breaks even.
See, here the problem is that Vinny, in theory, should be excellent at haggling, but I'm not. So
that's all right. You got a 29 versus his 25, which he rolled. So you beat him, so you got the price you wanted. Unfortunately, he rolled really high. If he hadn't rolled high, that would have been a bit better off.
You know, take what we can. I mean,
hey, you still got it. That's
exactly
still good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Okay.
But, hold on, I need to bear it back again.
That's right. We do sell other things if you would be interested in them. Various reagents and ingredients, bits and pieces that might help out here and there.
Do you sell just non-magical crystals?
We do gem dust, if that's what you're referring to, but I can't say for certain.
Okay.
If it might be what you're looking for. We do gem dust, we do chalk, incense, charcoal, and then bits.
Yes. Can I buy some? I've got 20 GPs worth of charcoal. Can I get 20 GPs worth of incense?
Yeah,
please.
Certainly. That should be quite all right.
Excellent.
Always good to have a fine familiar spell when you need it.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm intrigued by the tier 3 crystals, though. They're a bit above your ability? Or am I misjudging?
You're greatly misjudging.
Do you want to roll an intimidation check? It's up to you.
I need them for a staff.
Alright, what we got?
8 plus 7.
8 plus 7?
Yeah.
Okay. So with his insight, that is unfortunately 9 plus 7. So he looks at you with a. You may be telling the truth, but you aren't going to scare him into
Oh, that's alright.
into anything. No, that's fine. As he looks back and goes, "No, well, hopefully your staff goes well, and hopefully it serves you well."
Mm-hmm. I'm hoping so too. I mean, I've brought good quality stuff, so it should be able to cast at higher levels should I need it to. It has a very specific purpose, so I'm hoping that it'll hold out to it.
Well, fair enough. Well, I shall leave you to it then. Thank you very much for shopping. If there's nothing else that you particularly need from me,
No,
otherwise enjoy the rest of WizardCon.
you too. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. Just gonna
You too.
skip out merrily.
Yeah. Gives a smile and a nod to the rest of you, which you
Off to.
otherwise leave, heading back out into the main thoroughfare of WizardCon.
Okay, so.
I mumbled to a cat. Is it
Mhm.
just me, or is everyone here patronizing?
I don't think it's so much as the patronising. Is most people at my age wouldn't be able to cast anything that I can cast. I mean, people that I used to know about now would just be learning Mage Hand. I'm casting quite high level spells.
How old are you?
13?
13.
13, yes. So, yeah. So when they see sort of like someone of my age, they're probably just thinking, oh, cool, you're spending a lot of money on making a glowy stick, maybe. So,
You're a bit like my younger brother then. He's a genius.
you have a younger brother.
Yeah, I have too many siblings. Clove. He's
Romulus nods. So do I.
he's a prodigy, they say.
Oh, really?
It's snooty if you ask me, but
Well, you seem plenty strong enough yourself.
the thing with so many siblings is that if you ever think you're good at something, well, one of them's always better, and they're always willing to show you.
I didn't have any siblings, but
Well, lucky you.
maybe. I do wonder what it's like to have like a brother or sister. You know, someone that I could spend time with. It did used to get quite lonely.
Right, I'm very sorry about that.
That's right.
And, you know, workman minotaurs really just weren't as entertaining as someone my own age. They didn't want to go on treasure hunts. Ever.
But treasure hunts are awesome.
They are, but I had no one to go on treasure hunts with. Well, I mean, I talked to someone about treasure hunts a lot, which reminds me, I haven't spoken to her for a long time. I wonder how she's doing.
Who is it you speak of?
Oh, an old friend, I met long ago. She gave me this, and I'll show her the thunder stone that I've got.
Yeah, you see what looks to be kind of this kind of rectangular cuboid of what looks to be kind of this bright white stone with a bit of like marbling brown into it, and bright cracks of blue and red that otherwise surge through it across its surface.
Looks nifty.
I was going to make a wand with it, but now it's actually going to be part of one of my summons, which means that the present that she gave me is going to live on in another creature, which is quite nice. And I can't wait to tell her all about... Maybe.
Do you think you won't be able to see her again?
I think seeing her again is going to come with complications.
I know all about that. Hang in there.
It's more I'm concerned about what's going to happen with them complications. I don't want any of you getting hurt. And I don't want to be taken away.
Excuse me, young miss.
Just snap straight out. Yeah.
Yeah. You look over and you can see what looks to be a human individual, otherwise sat behind a stall, otherwise looking over, kind of these bright orange robes about them, a series of books set up in front of them, along with a stack of pamphlets to either side, small weights placed on top of them, stop them from blowing away. A kind of bright orange with a little bit of gold scrolling and threading across the edge of the tent itself, as they otherwise look over and go, "Hi, I can't help but noticing that you've been going around a few of these stores picking up bits and pieces, ingredients perhaps for magic."
Yeah, I'm... Yeah?
Look, I'm from the Kilngard College in Maruk, and we're taking new apprentices in the upcoming seasons. Starting next month, we have a program going for gifted and talented young folks who are looking to enter into wizardry. And kind of give you a look over. You seem quite capable. I was curious if you would be interested in learning up to third tier magic.
Third tier?
Yes, it's an apprenticeship program.
Okay. I know third tier. I don't know fourth tier. But
You know third tier magic? You know fourth tier as well. You're just making your spells.
yeah, I am, yeah. I know I'll hold... can I take one of these? The flyers.
Go on. He
Okay,
doesn't object.
And I'm going to cast Lock State on it.
Ooh.
Okay. The rest of
Oh,
you
no.
watchers. Oh,
Sorry, I've
go.
got
Roll wild magic.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I always forget about that. Well... And we're good.
As you otherwise hold the pamphlet up, you cast the spell as a rune appears on the front of it, and it holds in place as they take their hand away, and it remains motionless. Like, my word, I'm so sorry for misjudging you. We do have a scholarship program if you would be looking into working as becoming a scholar. You can learn up to 6th tier magic if you'd be interested. I would be quite happy to grant you an audience with the head of the college if you would be so interested.
Would that mean I'd have to go to Maruk?
Yes, you'd be able to go there, you'd be able to learn, and you hear a voice from not too far away. "Oh, you're not snatching up my scholar, are you?" As a what looks to be a dwarven individual, kind of a gruff beard, some neat plaits in the front, and wearing kind of this heavy dwarven plate, flanked by 3 dwarven individuals, walks up, kind of a hand on a rune book, which you very much recognise. This is the dwarven geomancer ambassador that you came across in against the stone dragon.
No way. Oh, that's so cool. I'm just like
What
seeing
do
him
you
excitedly bounce him. I'm gonna go and give him a hug.
You otherwise hug him as he approaches and goes, "Oh, you're not stealing my scholar. She's already working under me. I've been teaching her plenty of magic, isn't that right?
Mm-hmm.
And helped her in various circumstances." He goes, "Is that so? I apologize for stealing or for attempting to steal your scholar. I didn't know you were taking scholars at this time. Onvek?" "It's Onveki." Everyone gets the eye. "Yes, she's my scholar. Well, she's in a scholarship working for me. Everyone says I need to take one, so I went out of my way to recruit one. Met her in the wild, facing down a stone dragon alongside her companions. Brave of them, but given her talent, I took her under my wing there and then. Well then, I'll leave you to it then. And otherwise turns their attention to look around the crowd before going, excuse me, young sir. And you see a parent walking past with what looks to be someone no older than maybe 9 years old, and kind of begins to talk about the apprenticeship with them. Very much ignoring you and turning their attention to somebody else. It's good to see you too, Cat. How you been?
It's been really good. It's been crazy, really busy. Lots happened.
I bet. It's been how long? What, a month now?
Has it really been a month? Wow.
Near enough. Yeah, I remember I was heading to Maruk to otherwise talk about various political matters, me being representing the strongholds.
How did that
So,
go?
Oh, it went relatively well. They have otherwise approved the slowly but steady construction of an underground passage that will allow trade carts, instead of going around the edge of the mountains, that will cut straight through to Dagani.
Huh. Interesting. How long are you around for?
Oh no, not Dagani. Wrong dwarven stronghold. To Gomulder, sorry. I'm here for WizardCon. I'm here on a mission, actually. Heading further westward from here.
Oh. You staying for the entirety of con?
For the most part. I'll be here for the next 4 days of the 7 of the con as it begins to wind down, things going as they are. Off to the settlement of Farganuk and a little bit thereon.
Okay. If you've got some free time, I'm in the middle of trying to make a spell. Would you be able to help me?
Sure. I mean, leading you away a little bit. I'm technically your scholar now, so, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if that's a bit of a burden I just shoved on you. I kind of just didn't want the kiln guards snapping you up. I know that you're part of a good crew, and, well, just thought I'd stop it from happening if they were.
You can't hunker me down. I'm a wild spirit.
I know that much for sure. Who's your friend? Looking up at Kev. I don't think you were with him before. Speaking of, where are the others? I know that you're now only a group of 4.
Well, Damien had to run away.
Another stone dragon?
No, well, I hope not. I mean, he's walking on a
possible.
I see.
No, he had personal business he had to attend to, and just to check, we haven't got the message from Kay yet, have we?
Kay otherwise let you know that he's been otherwise wandered around, and he'll catch back up with you when he's finished with his business.
Yeah, and Kay's just a little busy at the moment.
Fair enough. And what about the one with the eyes? Where are they gone?
He rode off into the sunset on a horse.
Don't we all have eyes?
Fair enough.
He had many.
He had many eyes. It's a bit weird. And you are?
Curve. And I'd like to know a bit more about this stone dragon.
Not really much to say, really. Imagine a dragon made of stone. Lives in the mountains.
Defeated it?
No, we scared it off. You don't defeat a stone dragon that easily. Dangerous creatures.
This is where
Names...
Romulus invented his war crime dust.
His what now?
War crime dust.
Don't ever mention that to someone of a political mind. You might get in trouble for the word crime being mixed in with an object. I'll let it slide, but, you know, better keeping something like that under wraps, even if it is just a nickname.
I mean, it didn't work. What's all the big deal?
There are plenty of things that didn't work, but they're still considered war crimes.
Fair.
Anyway, names on Veki. Puts out kind of a meaty hand towards you. I liking the belt.
Oh, yes. Apparently you have to wait for it to fit me, but I'm very excited.
Looks like it's fitting just fine. And looks like it's working too. The rest of you otherwise turn to see a beginnings of a beard sprouting on Curb's face.
What is it?
You got hair. In places
Yeah.
you didn't have hair.
I start touching my face.
Okay. You feel a little bit of kind of rough stubble beginning to grow through. It's not long beard by any means. It's relatively short, but it's still there.
Oh my. What? I've always wanted a beard. This is so cool.
Oh, congratulations, it looks good on you. You should try growing it out.
Yes, I think I will.
If you want to uphold dwarven tradition, I'd recommend head to Gomuldur. They've got plenty of barbers there who can shape it into whatever you want.
Which way?
Not yet.
Otherwise, unrolls what looks to be kind of this large map and begins to generally gesture in the direction of where you would want to head. On your maps, you can see Gomuldur is here. So you'd have to go across Zaker's Crossing, up this way, past Trenlord's Rest, and then into Gomuldur.
So it's not at WizardCon?
No.
No, it's quite a journey, but it'll be worth going there. I mean, there might be some at future WizardCon. I mean, I know a few of them that have some magical potential, and the next one that should be happening would be in Marasmere, so that's not too far from here. Not too far from Gomuldur. They could probably make the hike. It's only a 6 or 7 day hike. Probably take a tour along the other dwarven strongholds along the way, actually.
How did you spell the place?
Gomuldur? Or Marasmere. GHOMUHLDIR.
Well, not a priority, but I'll keep it on the back burner.
Of course. Now, you mentioned about helping with a spell.
Yes. Yes.
What kind of way?
Okay. So, I'm trying to create a spell, and if we got somewhere we can lean that I can show you all of the research I've done so far. Standing here.
Sure. I mean, if you want to continue your otherwise wandering around, we can meet back up at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm planning to head to, well, kind of gestures towards the large, well, it's be the large table, a series of grills at the front, and a series of large round tables with individuals otherwise talking and chatting, and weird stuff happening around the area, which you would recognize as wild magic.
Oh, my people!
As you can see, these individuals are otherwise talking, enjoying, and drinking food and eating. Well, drinking food, eating food, and having drinks. And welcome, Romulus.
Hello, I heard there was a grill, so I appeared.
Yeah, yeah. For reference, the party has done a little bit of extra shopping, wandering around, talking to individuals, and you have just back up with Onveki, the dwarven geomancer ambassador who saved you from the stone dragon.
I mean, I think saved is a strong word.
You were all on single digits.
I could have taken it.
No, you couldn't.
You're right, I'm not Sasha anymore. Oh, those halcyon days of undying.
There's nothing stopping you from taking levels in Forge Domain Cleric to ruin my day. Anyway.
Do you... Okay, look. Genuinely, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get to 20th level. It's going to be like the final fight of the campaign, and I'm just going to say to you, hey, Chris, I don't suppose you'd let me change my class right at the end.
No.
Just be like Forge Domain Cleric.
Romulus just has a burst of faith from a Turan for no good reason.
Oh,
no, it's fine. You can.
I get a
the
burst
spirit
of faith from
Sasha.
Violet.
The spirit of Sasha overtakes you. Sasha's not dead. She just pretends to be.
Yeah, I mean, in my fanon and potentially canon, Sasha's in the is in the astral sea doing astral sea things. So it's entirely possible that Sasha is just going to do some fucky shit that affects the real world.
Who knows? Anyway, the ambassador otherwise points out, look, we were just going to be grabbing ourselves some lunch, given it's getting close to, dinner time, and then we were going to be heading off to one of the local tavern or local inns just to book a place. We just got here ourselves. We have a few stops that we want to make around here. Stock up on potions, head around, get a few spell scrolls, usual stuff, pick up more materials. And like I said, if you did want to become a scholar, I can write out the proper paperwork for it if you're interested. And from there, we can discuss, I can potentially get you some extra spells as part of the scholarship. I have my proper rune book on me with me this time, as I'm not on an emergency visit. So I have a proper one.
I mean, I won't say no. I mean, you've not led us astray, and I'd rather have a scholar that, isn't just randomly recruiting.
No, that's all right.
Also, you know runes. I haven't met very many people that know runes.
That's fair. There are a few individuals around here that know runes. Obviously, I'm one. There's also the enchantment vendor, not far from up here. He is a Weros, bearfolk. He comes from the city of Dagarni in the north. He's a rather large fellow, relatively nice. Sells all manner of enchanting things and carries many strange ingredients and stones from further off. And there are also a few other runesmiths around. Can't say I know them by necessarily face or recognition, but there are a few. They travel to and from here and there. A few of them own stalls and shops. You'd have to ask around. Unfortunately, it's not easy to pick them out in the crowds. I mean, we blend in with the rest quite happily.
Fair, okay. Stop for a second. Look back at the guy that just tried to recruit me. Do you reckon I should put his leaflet down now? Or should I just leave it there?
Always looks back at the lock state, and you can see that one of the kids is just kind of dangling off of it. He's like, look what I can do. This is so cool. And then you can see that the guy is otherwise giving credit. He's like, oh, yes, I did that as a showpiece for me to attract, and to show people what magic can really do.
Fireball!
Oh, no! I mean, the kid looks like he's having fun.
That's true. It's until somebody walks into it that you got a problem.
Okay. I should probably then release it. I will usher the command and release it.
Okay. The kid, along with the pamphlet, falls to the ground. The kid proceeds to, his mum kind of goes over to him and is like, what did you do? Looking at the pamphlet guy, who is now like, something must have gone wrong with the magic. Like, yeah, as the kid begins to cry.
Oh, I feel bad now. I should have waited for him to get off.
To be fair, the guy was stealing credit for your spell, which is... that's plagiarism amongst wizards, There's a reason I don't want you to go to the Kill and Guard College. They take those who've got talent, put them into positions where they work as teachers, and then steal all their ideas.
Oh. I have... Well, when you see my spell, it's quite a big idea.
I don't doubt. So, do you want to join us for food?
I need to quickly nip to the last couple of stalls. I need to go and get some ink and paper, and I need to go and get a white crystal.
That's all right. We'll grab a table. We'll save you some seats and go from there. Otherwise, the other three individuals otherwise nod. Kind of, the other three wards. They're the same ones as before. Kind of shields on their backs, kind of warhammers at their sides as they otherwise kind of wander off. Like, Don't be too long.
Shan't be. If you lot want to head off, you can. I don't know if
Food? Sure.
yeah, I'm going for a specific thing, so well, then we can have a look a bit more in depth later on if you want. I don't know how hungry people are.
I'm always hungry.
I am willing to consume at least 3 meals of average proportion.
Okay.
Yeah, I could eat. Oh, by the way, you two,
What two?
Which two?
Yes?
Romulus and Cat.
I did nothing.
Oh,
The magic item shop is selling immovable rods.
yes, I will go and buy that.
Uh,
I've already put it in my inventory because we said we'd buy it, so...
Yeah, we'll say you pick it up.
They're only one per group, but you won't with us when we went over there, so you should pick one up.
I'll do so.
Oh, Romulus. I have
Uh-huh.
a kid. Look.
You do.
Yes.
Well done.
Curve has a beard.
I'm proud that you finally hit puberty.
I got an amulet of health.
Kat, could you... that's very excellent, Kat. I'm very glad for you. Does it make you feel healthier?
Twice as healthy.
Oh, that's excellent. Would you mind covering your ears or going over there for a little bit?
I will. Then, shall I just go on to the scroll stall now then, and meet you back?
Head on to the scroll stall. Don't stray too far away, but I need to have a word with Curve.
Okay, I'm gonna head over to the scroll stall.
Now, Curve, as I can tell by your beard, your body's changing, and you probably have a few questions about that. So, we're going to go into exhaustive detail. Now, as you reach a certain age, your body starts to change in new and interesting ways. You'll start developing hair in places that there just wasn't there before. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but I think you're getting the idea, and nothing Curve says will stop this.
Rebecca, I kind of want you to draw the meme of you're standing there with like a beard. Romulus is just talking about this, and you're just like, I'm 24. Just in the background, and Romulus just keeps talking. Oh no.
When two people love each other very much, they engage in something that is commonly referred to as fucking. And I think that's where it fades to black.
Better sex ed than you get in hell, to be fair.
Yes. Allow me to demonstrate.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Romulus is into
Oh
beards.
no.
Vinny, get ready.
Oh my god.
Fine, but you have to wear the mask this time.
Oh my god.
Agreed. Oh. No, I bring out a set of finger puppets, and it is impressing. The dexterity is surprising, but the context is terrible.
Is anyone else looking?
There's an immovable rod involved, and no, we're not going to. No. There you go. You can have that instead.
Okay, well, yes, all of that is we fade to black. Joke's done.
Yeah.
Hoo hoo hee hoo ha ha ha.
Hoo hee hoo hoo ha ha. Okay. So, Kat, you otherwise wander off as this conversation is happening, heading to the scroll vendor. Looking about the scroll vendor, you can see that the individual who stands there has what looks to be a rather large build to them, grey skin, large horn protruding from the end of their nose, kind of a very small beret on the top of their head. But she's otherwise got her arms crossed, long, what looks to be a long robe, but with the sleeves cut short at the shoulders, or sleeveless robe, as she's otherwise looking around as you approach. A large Ortuck lady otherwise looks down at you. Hello, little one. Can I get you anything in particular?
Yeah.
Have you lost your parent, or are you all good?
No, he's lecturing Curve at the moment. I think she's got old.
I see. Well, what can I get for you then? Anything in particular?
I need 220 GPs worth, well, 110 GPs worth of magical ink and 110 GPs worth of paper.
That's rather a lot. Got big plans with it, have we?
I need to make some runes.
Or looks you up and down. A runesmith. Fascinating. Well, by all means, we have plenty of stock there. And to have someone so young skilled with runes. Good to see the tradition is keeping up. Otherwise pulls out what looks to be stacks of paper and ink. That would be about what you need.
Okay, thank you very much. And I'll hand over 22 platinum.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Is there anything else I could interest you in? I have all manner of spell scrolls, if you'd have interest.
I do have an interest, but I can't be too long, because everyone wants lunch. So I thought I'd get this and I could start working out, and then we'll come back and actually have a proper look.
How about this then? If you head off, I have plenty from different styles, different magic schools. If you want to head off and return afterwards, let me know what you might be interested in, and I can pick out a selection to save you some time.
Summoning and helping my friends. I'm gonna nod and then say, but thank you for your help, and I'm gonna trot off. And then some running away. My name's Cat!
What tier? Oh, mine is Rosie.
Oh.
Rosie Telltoe.
And I will hold up 4 fingers as I'm running away. 4th!
Holds up a thumb and turns around and goes to begin pulling scrolls out and kind of taking quick looks at tags and notes and was about looking through them.
Then I will head back to the rest of the party.
Okay. Heading back to the rest of the party, as Romulus finishes his conversation about sex ed and growing up, you all head to the large tables in the center. Do you join your friend, or do you sit elsewhere?
Yeah, because I want to talk more about this scholarship. If everyone's okay with that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. You otherwise take a seat, sitting down and beginning to discuss a few things as what looks to be a tiny dragon flies over and lands on the table, standing up on its hind legs, a set of small glasses on the end of its nose, as it pulls out of a satchel at its side a menu and places it down on the table before fluttering off back towards the cook. You see now what looks to be a otherwise massive yellow draconian, just flipping food and preparing small boxes of food alongside 3 or 4 other tiny dragons. When I say tiny, they're about the size of cats. Of tiny dragons that are there
God,
cooking.
they're about the size of a
with them.
cat. Jesus.
No, wrong cat. About the small size of a small dog. As they are cooking and preparing food, and you can see them of all different colours. Bright orange and yellow ones working on food, bright purple and blue one in the back currently preparing different cocktails and drinks. And you can see the yellow and green ones are flying around and dropping off menus, bringing orders and collecting coin before taking them back to their the main host of this particular vendor. Here is the menu.
Oh, we get to see a menu? This is exciting.
No. Yes. So this is the full menu, including the kinds of foods that are available here. Are any of you allergic to anything? Say now, forever hold your peace if you roll an at 1.
Cat doesn't know.
I am just trying to think.
Does Romulus want to be lactose intolerant?
No. You know what? Given where he's from, it makes 0 sense for him to be allergic to anything other than heresy.
Imagine a Minotaur being lactose intolerant.
Yeah, that's a real. Objectively, it makes 0 sense.
Oh, that's true.
Um,
Vinny or Curved?
I mean, She hasn't had much experience with that much food, but everything she's liked so far, she's liked.
Okay.
Um,
And Vinny?
No, I don't think Vinny has any allergies.
And were you going to say something else, Cove?
not really. Just I'm afraid I wouldn't know.
Okay. Well, if you don't declare that you have any allergies, whether you know about it or not, I will say that you don't for the purpose of this.
Mhm.
But you have the menu in front of you to read as you're having a look through. Various dragons are moving around. A few individuals are drinking and having fun, and you watch as these kind of tiny flames begin to shoot off in tiny directions. You watch as one individual on a table over just catches fire and is just sat there laughing before it goes out shortly afterwards. Yeah. So, what do you think you're going to be ordering?
The snow globes sounds interesting.
Snow globes? That's
I don't
more
know.
of a pudding, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel sweet.
All right. Otherwise, jots down on a small pad next to him the noting of snow globes.
Romulus, I want to get a druid's lunch, but that's a dessert, isn't it?
Well, something
Sweet.
can be sweet and still be a lunch.
Okay, so I can have that then.
That depends. What is the druid's lunch?
The druid's lunch.
Bag of sugar.
Roll me a d20. I'll say on a 6 or higher, there is a picture to accommodate it.
Nope, nothing.
Get
I
it out of the way.
believe it is probably grass-based. Yes. Or
Okay. You
potentially...
do know that all the ones that are in the sweet section are puddings, as a general note.
Ah.
There are
That's in
things
the-
that are in the savory section which are more for mains, which have some sweetness to them, but the sweet stuff is more specifically desserts.
I think I'm finding with Curve is that since she's had a few meals now and she is getting an idea of what she likes, I think she's a dessert person. She likes sweet stuff.
I think, how about I get you a sticks and sap set, and then you can have the druid's lunch. You don't have to eat all of the sticks and sap, but I need you to make an attempt, all right?
Aww.
Okay.
All right. Do they do mocktail versions of their alcoholic drinks?
Yes. As you actually have a look through them, you see that there's a small disclaimer at the bottom saying all alcoholic drinks are only partly alcoholic. When you have a look, you can see that the percentage is like 0.1 units.
All right.
A lot of their stuff seems to be designed for people who don't want to get drunk. Such as wizards.
I think what we absolutely have to get, Cat, is a virgin wild magic.
Oh, wild magic isn't alcoholic.
Oh, it's completely not.
It's the ones marked with asterisk. Oh,
Yeah,
I forgot.
I'm seeing it now.
No,
Yep.
there was that formatting error that I had previously when I copy and pasted this. I forgot to make the adjustment.
Ah.
There you go. Ones with the asterisks next to them are alcoholic.
Excellent.
Okay. I was looking at it, I was like, they're all alcoholic.
We'll
What
get
can I
Cat a
drink?
wild magic because it will be funny.
Yeah. Okay.
I
I'll
too like wild magic.
2 wild magics.
2 wild
You know what?
magics.
Fuck it. Make it 3.
Vinny, do you want one?
I was going to have a healer, but screw it. I'll have a wild magic as well.
You can have
Ooh.
multiple drinks.
Yeah,
There's nothing
yeah.
stopping it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Tell-
a round
tell-
of wild magics.
Let's just get a picture of wild magic.
Yeah, as the small dragon comes, as the small dragon comes over and kind of stands there expectantly looking about as Onveki otherwise looks over and goes, we'll have a round of wild magics to begin with, just to kick things off. Put it on the tab, I'll cover it later. And when we're ready for, we should be ready for food by the time you get back. And the small dragon kind of gives a nod, takes like a little jotting down with his tiny quill onto paper, and then flutters off.
Sorry, so he's paying.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't.
Yeah. That's fine. He'll pay for the table.
Right.
After all, you have just accepted a scholarship with him,
Well,
which you know is a pretty good deal. No, the whole party has, but he's happy to take that on board.
Right.
Okay. Moment later, while you're all deciding further on food, a round of glasses is otherwise handed out to each of you. What looks to be a large satchel is brought over before the dragon begins to pull these drinks out and place them next to you. Some form of bag of holding of some form beginning to hand them out as they are chilled with what looks to be slices of lemon in them. A very wonderful prismatic coloured drink of all kinds. You can see a few bits of floating fruit in there that are still whole or very neatly and precisely cut to look like almost cartoon slices of fruit before handing them out and before fluttering back.
Could you describe for me the treasure chest and the Ishlan exquisite?
Yes, of course. Is
Sorry,
this
my brain
the
just
food? Is this the food or is this
the food?
the food? Yes. The treasure chest with what appearance would be having for them. Trying to find it on my list now. So I have a more comprehensive list, which is a lot harder to read through, unfortunately. The treasure chest, from what you can see, looks to be some form of a pastry of some form that has been specifically molded into that of a rather thin and small chest with a lid on the top, and you can see that spilling out of the picture, you can see all manner of what looks to be meats, vegetables, or your choice of berries for a sweeter taste. It is some form of pastry or pie. And what was the other thing?
The Ishlan exquisite.
The Ishlan exquisite seems to be that of what looks to be a kind of a flattened dough, a series of what looks to be meats and sliced vegetables and cheese and sauces, as well as
It's
occasionally
another
fruit
fucking elven flatbread.
It's an elven flatbread pizza, yes.
Five
Look.
gold pieces for this shit again.
I had to add it from last campaign. What can I say? You guys made it canon. It's your own fault. But yeah, as you're otherwise all handed these drinks, you all drink them, and I would like everybody to roll a d100, please.
Oh no! Because I need. Cool. Why is
That's
that
a 93.
All right, so we'll go around the table with everybody rolling your d100s.
I don't have a D100, so I.
Oh, there's one up here. There's one up here. So
I do have
so
two
there's a
D10s,
93
but it
for
just
you,
feels
Kat.
better to. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. So, Kat, you got a 93. Okay.
Wait, shit.
You watch as Kat otherwise sat at the table. You watch as she otherwise becomes larger and more swole, as her body expands in size, kind of pushing back. The table creaks for a moment, but the chair moves back, or the bench otherwise pulls back, pulling Kat with it. As there's a laugh from some of the dwarves who are also beginning to drink their ones as well.
Kat, you appear to have finally reached puberty. I repeat my previous.
Okay. Vinny, what did you get? Or have you? Or did you? Oh, next person to roll, please. Yeah.
I'll do it.
12.
Okay. Roll me a d10.
Welcome to the wild magic. Every day's a dream.
2.
You watch as Vinny grows ever so slightly taller. It's not as drastic a change as Kat, but you grow by 2 inches.
I hope that one lasts forever.
This is a dumbed down wild magic. None of the effects are permanent.
No,
but Vinny,
fair.
you grow 2 inches taller for the next hour. Or sorry, 24 hours. Sorry, because it would be an indefinite effect otherwise.
In that case, Curve, would you like to roll or shall I?
I'll go.
Okay. Let's see what you got.
70 on the dot.
70. Okay. As this happens, as you kind of take your drink, there's a moment of a burp as your entire table becomes partially see-through, almost ghostly ethereal. And you watch as a kind of a slight layer of fog begins to emanate from your table. A few individuals kind of look, and a few kind of laugh and go back to their drinks.
Then now it's my turn.
Okay.
Fireball! 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 46. Fireball?
I'd like to think that they wouldn't have something like that in their drinks.
You watch as
You'd like
Romulus
to
begins
think.
to you watch as Romulus begins to float off of his seat momentarily, and remains there for a short while. As you are now levitating for a little while.
Fair enough.
The dwarves are gonna see what they get. So on Veki, with a 75, I'll roll these in the open after on Veki's. Sorry. Okay, you watch as Onveki begins to glow, an iridescent presence about him, as he begins to light up compared to the rest. The next dwarf with a 36. Oh no.
Fireball?
6. 1. Very little happens with this one. There's almost like a disappointing note before you watch as their beard begins to go kind of slightly grey to the touch. Or kind of just grey coloration, sorry, as they kind of look down and they begin to take note and they look at it almost in a panicked state. The other two laughing, taking their drinks. 28. You watch as this one begins to, as they begin to talk, they're laughing for the moment before their speech begins to pick up, getting faster and faster, before it becomes nearly incomprehensibly fast. And the final one on a 59. As he otherwise takes the drink, he feels you. What he otherwise looks about himself, and feels a bit more, from what you can tell, nourished. A few wrinkles temporarily disappear. Okay. Got to say, I didn't know that I was royalty to be glowing like this. Or maybe I'm just happy.
Hmm.
It's very pretty.
Thank you, cat.
Glowing.
Otherwise, looks to all of you. So, do you know what you're going to want? So far, we've got. Let me check. We were going for some. It was sticks and sap for cat, followed by druid's lunch. We got snow globes for Curve. Vinny, you know what you want? And if you want any other drinks, just let me know and I'll be writing them down.
Okay. Can I get a description for a loot pile?
Yes. Looking at the loot pile, you can see that it is almost like a stack of what look to be these thin cut potato pieces. You can see all manner of kind of spices and cheese, bits of veg otherwise scattered across the top of it in almost like a reminiscent fashion of gold being sprinkled with gemstones.
Very nice. Right, then I'll have a loot pile and the healer to drink.
Okay. Okay. And you take the healer. Okay, so alrighty. And Romulus, what would you like?
I'll go for the noble plater because of the typo.
Should be platter. Should be platter. Or did I
Yeah.
not correct that typo?
Yep, it says plater. Ah,
Is this
tip.
based
That's
on
a
the thing?
no. That's the other typo I didn't fix. I done it.
Commit to it.
That should
No,
be.
no, it's canon. It's canon.
Yeah, commit to
Yeah.
this
Oh
now.
Look,
no.
it's perfectly
Okay.
reasonable for a menu to have a typo on it.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, and you get a noble plater. All right. Any drinks for the rest of you that you might want? By the way, with regards to the wild magic, it is a very fruity and sweet, kind of a very sugary taste to it, but it otherwise embodies many different fruits in a strange way. When you begin to drink it, you first begin to taste kind of a strawberry taste to it, and then that fades and is overtaken by orange, which dissipates shortly afterwards into blueberry, dissipating onwards into pineapple, then lime, passion fruit, and grapefruit. It proceeds onwards through all manner of different fruit flavors. It's bizarre, interesting, and very sweet and rather nice, with
Hmm.
added effects.
I want
Yeah,
another
otherwise,
one.
do you want another one? Okay. So yeah, you can have another wild magic. He otherwise looks up at the other ones. Ranger, what do you want? I'll have a weaver and the mimic, please. All right. Sarah, what do you want? Could I have a caustic cauldron? Feeling a bit more like that at the moment. And would I be able to get just another wild magic for the time being, if that's all right? Okay. And Bill, so what would you want to drink? He kind of has a careful look at the list and goes, hmm. I feel I'm also going to go for a loot pile to begin with. I think that sounds good. Could I get an ooze surprise afterwards? So, of course, that sounds all right. Any drink? Could I get an air spirit? All right. And he notes down his ones. All right. The little dragon otherwise comes back over again. So there's our list. Again, at the tab I'll pay afterwards. And did any of the rest of you want wild magics as well? I'm gonna go for another one.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
sure.
Please.
All right, another 3 wild magics on this. Did you want?
Oh, go for it.
All right, and another 5 wild magics, please. The other 3 otherwise pass, but another 3 wild magics brought to the table. As in the meantime, while your food is being cooked, Veki otherwise looks to you, Cat. So, you wanted to know more about this scholarship?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, for the purposes of what it is, I'm to teach you up to 5th level or 6th level magic. Show you the ropes, teach you to be safe, take you under my wing, that sort of stuff. I'm also to send you out on missions into the world, not as like dangerous ones for the most part, just for lack of better purpose, show you the world a bit more, teach you different cultures, send you on fetch quests, let you build your own foci and potions and stuff, whatever you want to specialize in. We also have what are known as flavor groups. Think of it as extra courses you can do, things such as architecture, history, library bookkeeping. Um, Basically, you pick something else to go with it, extracurricular stuff. But for the most part, it's mainly just me teaching you how to use your magic. You get better and showing you the ropes, and then send you out and stuff. But for the most part, you're an independent group, so I could probably take you under my wing and just play off the excuse that you're learning as you're out in the wild with your group of friends,
Okay.
and that you otherwise report back to me every so often. Do you have the sending spell?
I do if I attune to the book.
Understood. Fair enough. Yeah, that should be fine then. If you can sending me, you can send me a message, and I'll be able to work with it and figure out some stuff.
Okay.
Make sure just to keep in contact. Let's say once a week is a good measure. If you can't for one reason or another, twice a week will be alright. and I'll contact you if it ends up being more than twice a week, or more than every 2 weeks. Sorry.
Okay. I'll send you a breakdown at the end of every week of what I've done and progress then.
Sounds good to me.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and if you end up finding yourself in the need of a diplomatic name to throw, with me being your official tutor, you can call my name upon if you need any help or anything. Whether that be in any of the dwarven strongholds, whether that be in court if you end up there for one reason or another. If you've done something terrible, however, just know I may not be able to help you.
That's fine. Have I got to sign a contract, or how does this
I'll
work?
write up the settings of it. Effectively, it'll just be a kind of written agreement between the two of us, so that way there's some form of proof, and I'll get that in my stuff. But after we've been otherwise dealt with WizardCon tonight, if you end up heading to just one of the local inns, anywhere in particular that you go to?
Where have we got rooms? Because we paid for rooms, and I can't for the life of me find my notes, and I've been flipping through my notebook trying to find it. Does anyone remember?
You didn't pay for rooms for all that long. You stayed somewhere for one night, I believe.
We did, but we pre-ordered
Braylon,
some
that-
rooms.
Oh,
For
that's
WizardCon.
right. In the Twisted Tap.
That's it. Twisted Tap. Yeah, we've booked rooms from when we were here recently, in the Twisted Tap.
Oh, you stay with Dav.
Yes.
Yeah, he runs a decent place. It's not that bad. He's from Felder. He's actually one of the people I came here to talk to.
Oh.
They've
Okay.
been having. He's related to a group of individuals known as the Fire Hilts. Don't know if you've heard of them before.
No, don't believe so.
Yeah, fair enough. Basically, they're causing a ruckus further west of here, past Farganuk. And I've been sent as part of the Dwarven Coalition to speak to Felder and speak to the council in Felder and challenge the Fire Hilts on it, and then deal with these extremists.
Felder.
What are they doing?
From what I understand, they're otherwise causing trouble with trade. They've been attacking people on the road.
Oh,
Bandit stuff.
we kind of destroyed them.
You did?
Yeah, a little bit. Tiny
Huh.
little bit.
I guess that saves my job then. Guess I'm just heading to Felder then, just to ask them if they claim association with the Fire Hilts, and if they do, then I'll have to inform them that their relations are dead. I assume you killed them. I can't see them surrendering.
How would we describe this? Looking at the rest of the party.
I'm just smiling and leaving Cat to squirm.
They were eliminated, certainly.
All right. Were their leaders dealt with? Did they escape? I know the Fire Hilts are typically quite cowardly, so they like to run away. For the most part, they do have fanatics amongst their number, but yeah.
Presumed dead, but no body, which is always raises eyebrows.
No, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, if I've got information on it, then knowing that they're otherwise taken out and dealt with is a good start. If they can restart themselves again, then there might be a manhunt involved, but that's something I can deal with, or I can get you lot to deal with at a later time if it becomes a problem again. I can otherwise keep you informed, given you've already got yourselves involved in it. If you want, of course. If you've had enough of dealing with them, then I'm not going to force you.
Well,
I'm sure we would be interested to see if
yeah,
they
it'd probably be good
resurface.
to be kept in the loop.
Fair enough. Well, in which case that makes my job a lot easier then. I'll be able to stick around WizardCon for the full 7 days. I'm in no rush. I just received I received a bit of rushed word from the southern, the Ice Dwarf Citadels, and yeah,
Oh,
they mentioned there was issues.
okay. Well, no, we destroyed their camp and completely cleared it out, and then claimed the bounty, which is how we've afforded this.
Fair enough. Well, I'll say good going on you for doing all that. You saved me some work. I can claim it under the scholarship. And that means I'll get the good up and up from the Stronghold Coalition that it was handled deftly and promptly. Means I won't be scolded for going to WizardCon. And it means that you'll be highly merited for your skill.
Okay.
Win-win.
I would very much like to take you up on your scholarship. It's and the fact that you're willing
Works
to work
well.
with me while I travel round and do things.
Yeah, it's quite all right. I will say they, depending on what happens with the resolving of the fire hilts, and in regard to them, you may get a call to head to one of the dwarven settlements, whichever one will be closest. There's usually one within at least 4 days' travel of anywhere you are, for the most part. Sometimes there's one a bit further afield, and sometimes you have to travel through a little bit of more difficult territory, such as the Magocracy. But there's usually one in reach of somewhere pretty easily. They may call upon you to have a discussion with them regarding either certain details or to reward you. We'll have to see.
Okay. Okay.
Because I had my own bounty otherwise put on them, but as an ambassador, I don't get paid. I just get told what to do.
Mhm.
So it's possible that you might receive something extra from them for doing this.
Okay. Okay. That's not a problem. And you get to spend extra time. I can't wait to show you the things. So I plan on making a staff, and I plan to create a spell. And then
All right.
yes.
That should be fine. I haven't done enchanting in quite a while. That's not entirely my purview. I know a good enchanter, but he's further afield.
I learned from my I know how to enchant.
Fair.
I picked up from someone who was very wise in the field of enchanting and magic. But yeah, and I'll show him the doodles I've got in my book of the enchantment circle, which
Okay, I'm gonna roll an Arcana check for him. Solid. Interesting. Interesting. Yeah. No, they should function for the most part.
So I'll go through the materials and like the purpose of it, and the actual purpose of making the stuff.
Yeah.
Which is to manipulate the shape of the elementals, so they can be like summoned with a specific purpose in mind.
No, that's fair. So stable the circuit from what I can tell. Pretty easy to do. Yeah, I could probably help with this. If I'm helping, I might need it to be adjusted slightly, just because otherwise it'll be... Actually, no, I can make this work even with the two of us. See, your problem with your circuit is that your upper section here is otherwise going to be much longer, take more time than the lower two, which is good in the essence if you're doing it alone, but if you've got another person, it doubles the speed of the transport around the outer circle. So it means that your bottom two are gonna be finished before your top one's nearly done, and the weight will get overloaded unless you get more work done.
Okay.
So you might want to either add a weight onto the outside, which will make it slightly more difficult, but with my help it should be a little bit easier. Or you should be fine to do this on your own. It's a pretty simple circuit.
Yeah, I believe that I can. I designed it because I didn't think anyone would be able to help me, so I designed it sort of this way. I've got all of the materials I need, the enchanting crystals too, the words which kind of needs to be carved. I got mahogany, the manticore wrap, leather wrap, and then there's the crystal and the topaz, which is going to be that. So hopefully it should all work, and the weight in the middle, because well, as you can see, it's top heavy, but that was where the primary source was going to be originating from, which makes sense.
Makes sense to me. No, good circuit. Should work. Good ingredients too. Quite a high bounty. Well, I'm not going to mention it in the report. Well, I will. I'll mention you received the reward from a local authority, but nothing more.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And yeah, and then as for the spell, I'll explain it to you later when we start working on it.
Sounds good. Okay. At this time, unless there's a conversation that the rest of you would like to have with any of these individuals, I will begin describing food.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I'm ready.
Bring
Okay.
the food.
Wow
Ooh,
me
food.
with your word picture.
So,
Knock my hooves.
Romulus, you got what was it exactly you picked up?
The noble plater.
The noble plater. You watch as out of the small food bag of holding that a few dragons are otherwise carrying over, one of them pulls out what looks to be this long slab of what looks to be a kind of smoothed and polished over, but still rough in places, section of an oak board. You can see a variety of cheeses, berries, nuts, crackers, fruit, and dips covered across the entire top of this charcuterie board. All variety of different kinds of cheeses from all over the world. You can identify a few from the Beastlands. You can identify plenty from the Raldine Alliance, and more so, some from what you suspect are further south in the Ice King's domain. What you suspect may be Yak's cheese is present here. You note that there are a variety of different berry types, with the majority of them being sweet in some form and complementing the cheeses in that respect. A small bowl of nuts of different types. You have peanuts, cashew nuts, walnuts, and what looks to be simil nuts with them as well. You can see simil nuts, by the way, are small nuts that have a light shell to them, and the shell itself can also be chewed alongside the other, giving it a bit of a crunchier taste. But if not, you can break it open. Think of it like a pistachio, but you could chew the shell. The crackers come from what look to be a singular origin, but they are made of kind of a thinner grain than what you would be used to. Kind of, they're not as hardy as you'd expect. But as you kind of bite into one, it is a very soft and delicate taste, but also refreshing. And you can tell that it's got some form of effect in the method that it's been cooked to act as a palate cleanser. And then, obviously, a variety of fruits, gently powdered with some powdered sugar, and a variety of dips to work well with the bits and pieces here that you could put on crackers or dip the fruit into or work with putting berries into. A wide variety here. The drink, by the way, you got just another wild magic, didn't you? You didn't get a...
Wild
You didn't
magic
get a
here
special
also,
drink?
yeah?
Yeah? Okay. And with a wild magic, you have that. Go ahead and roll me a d100.
Oh boy. You know me. I love a good D hundo roll. 92.
92. Okay. In this moment, as you are otherwise take the swig from your wild magic drink, there is a moment of realization to the rest of you as your vision changes. Go ahead and roll me a d12.
I'm okay.
Yeah, roll me a d12.
Oh boy. 5.
Okay. Male or female?
Female.
Okay. You watch as Romulus shrinks for a moment, and looking up from his seat is a tiny female halfling. As Romulus, your body has changed for the next minute. As you are describe yourself to me, if you will.
Female halfling is what we're going for here, right?
Yep.
Can I still have a Minotaur head?
Yes.
Excellent.
I'll allow it.
Flowing blonde ringlets. Not quite down to like not quite mid back, but not just upper back. You know, a little mid length hair, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
On the longer side of mid length, let's say. Definitely past the shoulder blades. Rosy cheek, but the same, which is very weird because it's still a grey Minotaur head, but somehow it's like there's the plumpness and there is a rose tint that is very hard to look at for too long. I like to imagine that I am just as buff as before, but all of that muscle is compacted into a tiny lethal package. And all of my weapons are the same size as normal. So I am just sat there with just a hilarious amount of weapons strapped to my now tiny body.
Yeah. And the rest of you, as you're otherwise looking at Romulus in his form, the shawl is about the only thing that Romulus wears outside of a basic loincloth. So you note that majority of his form is covered by this massive shawl that acts as a robe. But Romulus, as you're otherwise there, it's a very strange sensation to be a halfling. You feel lucky.
My time has
Quick,
come.
quickly, I need to gamble.
No, no.
Yeah,
I
quick, drink
challenge you
another
to
one.
an arm wrestle. The only time I might be able to beat Romulus.
Very well. I will face Cat in an arm wrestle.
Okay. You have disadvantage because you are smaller than Cat, but you keep your strength score.
Oh God.
Go ahead and roll me your strength checks.
Oh.
I'll keep the disadvantage rather than doing any of my many things I could do. Is this strength or athletics?
This will be athletics. Sorry,
Oh,
yeah, 'cause it
athletics.
Then
counts as a
it's
grapple.
12.
If it's athletics,
Okay.
it's the same, yeah.
As the two of you begin to arm wrestle, another table kind of looks over, and you can see a group of humans just kind of going, "Go, go, 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 go!" And they're kind of looking over your table, slamming their fists on the table as they do so. Go ahead and give me another roll, you two.
My one chance. Oof.
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 11.
Yeah, no, you beat me. Mine's
That's a
like
2. No. In the moment, the individuals slamming their fists on the table, going, "Go on, Sergio, you could do it!" And then you watch as Kat's arm is slammed onto the table as she loses the arm wrestle. "Oh, man,
He couldn't do it.
you couldn't do it."
Still strong.
And you watch it. And you watch as not too long later, Romulus reverts back to Romulus form.
Much better. I did not enjoy that haircut. Let this be a lesson to you. Do not mess with strange magics. Unless they're very funny.
Speaking of, who would like to have their food described next?
Sure.
Okay. What did you get, Kev?
Snow globes.
Snow globes. Okay. As the food for you is otherwise brought over, you are brought a small tub of what looks to be a variety of flavors of what look to be ice cream. Kind of spherical globes of ice and cream mixed together. You can see one is a kind of a pink flavor with small bits of strawberry in. Another one is kind of this dark brown coloration with small pieces of what looks to be some form of powder and chunks of something across its form. And the final one is a bright kind of creamy coloration to it. And above the tub itself is a tiny flurry which is ever snowing on top of the snow globes in kind of this very thin layer of sugar icing. And did you order a drink?
Yes, wild magic.
Give me a D100 roll.
11.
11. No.
No?
No.
Oh,
1.
higher. Oh, literally, that's a double zero, isn't it? Yeah, 1.
Mm-hmm. 1.
To
Okay.
clarify, 00, so 00 plus
Yeah.
0 is 100.
Okay.
Wild.
Curve. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Roll me 10 more sets of D100s, please.
What?
As for the next minute, your wild magic goes off every 6 seconds.
Oh no, hang on. I never need to roll a 1.
Hi.
Alright, so resolving these in order. 63.
Oh, good God.
Okay. The rest of you watch as this layer of mist begins to emanate from Cat. Or not from Cat, from Curve, sorry. As the table and the surrounding area is covered in this low layer of mist. 34. You watch as she's otherwise chugging and drinking this drink with these effects beginning to go off and kind of looking around. There's a moment where you're just kind of looking around, and as you go to pick up a spoon, your hand moves incredibly quickly to the point that the table shakes as you bash it, almost uncontrollably, picking up the spoon, looking slightly fearful with what you've just done as the table shakes. You then begin to, with the 76, begin to glow very brightly, as you can now be seen very clearly within the mist. Then, shortly after you glow brightly, with the 67, who are you sat next to?
Who wanted to sit next to me? Come on. Who wanted to sit next to Cove?
I'm more than happy to sit next to you, Curve.
Thank you.
Okay,
Let's make
and
it
who's
run.
sat on your other side?
That'd be bottom curve. No.
Vinny.
Probably me then, yeah.
Yeah.
Vinny. Okay. You turn left with that 67, and you see Romulus, and he is terrifying. As you let out a yelp and drop your spoon, you kind of turn to Vinny for solace, and with the 68, you are terrified of Vinny as well, as he also looks horrifying, like nightmares. With those two resolving back to back. 57. As you otherwise look about, you go to stand up, kind of pushing your hands against the table, and the table catches fire. The entire table is just engulfed in fire for the moment, as the rest of you almost like begin to pat it out. The fire seems harmless. It seems more ambient for the effect of it. As Curve, you begin to kind of turn around, you touch the stool as you go to sit back down, it catches fire too. You place your hand on Romulus's shoulder, he catches fire too.
Oh, God
but is otherwise unharmed. With the 64, more fog begins to emanate from Curve in that moment as it begins to become thicker and more intense as the fires begin to go out. Almost in that moment as that happens, your entire party becomes ghostly with the 70, with everybody beginning to turn invisible. As you then have the next effect on the 84, everybody around you begins to feel almost this slight, not necessarily sickening feeling, but almost ever so slightly ill. As Curve, you kind of stand there and you feel like you could do anything in this moment before it fades. And for the third time on these rolls, more fog begins to emanate from you, surrounding the nearby tables. Before you watch as what looks to be a druid of sorts comes through with gust of wind and begins to dispel the fog.
There was a roller coaster ride of magic.
Yes, there was.
Hmm.
Some of the nearby tables, they're all kind of looking as this pause as everyone's looking at Curve as the dust and the fog settles. And then everybody kind of cheers in that moment before going back to eating and drinking.
Yeah, after all that, he still didn't find any flumps.
No,
Nope.
I didn't even get a flump.
No, you didn't.
One day.
This game is rigged.
Of course. You sit back down and you begin to enjoy your strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate ice cream.
I think I'm a little knocked out by that.
Okay.
I'm just.
Yeah. To your tiefling and more hellish tongue, this is really cold and it's almost painful to eat, but the taste is just so good.
Yeah.
Okay, then your cat.
I'll go next.
Okay. So, Vinny, what did you get? You got the loot pile, didn't you?
Yes, I had the loot pile and the healer, and
Okay.
I believe I had a
And you had a wild
magic
magic too. Yeah. Okay. As you, as your food is brought to you, you see what looks to be a kind of pile of what looks to be these cut potatoes, kind of fried in their own manner. What looks to be chilies and peppers that have otherwise been cut to look like gemstones that have been placed on the surface of what looks to be this melted cheesy topping to it, that has been textured alongside the fries themselves, alongside some seasoning of chive and why am I forgetting the word? Chive and I think yeah, chive and basil. As you begin to otherwise dig into it, it's a little spicy, but for your tiefling tongue, it is otherwise all right. These are effectively dirty fries, if you've had them before. The drink from the healer, as you otherwise begin to have it, is a very nice one. It's got a very hard kind of citrusy taste to it. It's kind of a block of yellow with kind of a layer of green at the base of it, kind of blending very nicely. A small umbrella has been placed in the top, along with a straw to go with for this particular cocktail. As you begin to drink it, it has a very strong citrus and pineapple kind of flavor, with a mix of what you can tell would be a hard spirit, but as you begin to drink it, you feel very little effect from the alcoholic side of it, but it still has that kind of biting taste to it. And go ahead and roll me your D100 for your wild magic. See what we get.
Let's go.
$25. Okay. Okay. As you are beginning to kind of take the drink, you otherwise put the drink down and look back to the rest of your companions as a third eye appears on your forehead. You now have advantage on perception checks that rely on sight for the next minute.
Huh. Nice.
Okay. You see all that's going on around. And finally, Cat, you got two things, if I remember correctly. You got the sticks and sap and then the druid's lunch.
Yes.
Okay. As you are otherwise brought the sticks and sap, a small plate is brought to you with what looks to be cut carrot, cucumber, celery, and what look to be these kind of fried grain triangles in kind of the small bowl. And to the side of them, what looks to be a variety of different dips, kind of a dark green one, light green one, a red one, orange one, and what looks to be kind of this creamy white one with green bits in it. As you kind of begin to dip and eat them, you can taste all the different flavors of the different spices and places of the world, with plenty of what you can tell to be chickpea flavorings to the dips themselves. While the druid's lunch is another small plate brought to you. This one has what looks to be two long skewers with what looks to be fresh fruit that has been drizzled with honey across them.
Sold. Sounds healthy.
Okay. Yeah, very healthy and very nice. And go ahead and roll me for your wild magic.
Cool.
18. As Cat drinks this and begins to eat, you watch as a beard begins to grow on Cat.
What?
I've caught it from Curve.
As it begins to grow longer and longer, going all the way down, kind of past her stomach, well to almost ankle length for tall centaur form. However, you note that as it continues to grow, it's almost like spines at first beginning to grow, thin kind of spines to go with it, as they begin to almost grow these tufts at the end, and then grow backwards into long penguin feathers.
Wizard! I now have a wizard beard.
You now have a wizard beard, yes.
Very good. Oh,
Okay.
love this.
And for the purposes of this, let me know when you next sneeze in session. While we're playing D&D, because when you do, your wizard beard disappears.
Okay.
So
Noted.
let me know when. So only during D&D, let me know when you sneeze. Until then, it lasts. Okay. And finally, I'll roll for
You got to
Becky.
try and sneeze on cam,
Mm-hmm.
3.
or at least like we got to hear it, or
You
at
don't
least
have to hear it,
a
but
good fake approximation.
that's true.
Okay.
But as Becky drinks his, you note his eyes kind of glow this faint blue as he begins to look around and begins to kind of note and look around at various bits and pieces. Enjoying himself, but doesn't seem to be anything weird. Okay. You all enjoy your food and your various drinks and cocktails. And I think as you continue on the day, is there anything else you wish to do for today's WizardCon? Or do we wish to move on to the next day of WizardCon?
Today all I want is just get one crystal and that's it. I'm done.
What kind?
I need to get a white one 500. This one is to summon Roni.
A white one, 500. That'd be a diamond. Or a pearl.
Oh, yeah, I've got a diamond, haven't I?
Yeah.
No, don't worry, scratch that. I don't need it.
Okay.
I take that back. Redact that last statement.
Okay. And Romus, you were going to say something?
We discussed the things that I'm interested in. I'm more than happy to do them on other days, but if it's more likely to be more stuff now, then I'm not opposed to like checking for stuff now, just to
Do you
make
want
sure.
to wander around and talk to anybody in particular? Do you have any shop vendors you wish to go to before stocks begin to
Potions.
dwindle?
Scrolls.
Potions.
All of the potions.
Yes.
Potions and scrolls. Okay. So we'll say, who wants to go with cat to scrolls?
I will go. Yeah, I'll go and have a look at the scrolls.
Okay. And Curve, does that mean you're going with Romulus to potions?
Why not?
Okay.
Let's get our posh on.
Okay. As you otherwise head in your two separate directions, on Veki, otherwise going, I'll be heading to catch a place to stay at the Twisted Tap and catch up with Dav. You go ahead and enjoy yourselves, and we'll catch up over the next few days and see if anything fun comes up. Oh, and do you know what events will be taking place over the next few days?
I have no idea. I was going to look see if there was anyone with a breakdown of what's happening.
There is an event board of what will be roughly happening on each of the days on what will be taking place. There will be authorized wizard duels as of tomorrow. This will be more of just kind of testing your strength, and the dueling areas will be set up. Not an official competition or for anything, more just for those who wish to bet money or wish to have fun. Just a friendly thing. There are also a number of booths that are being set up for different kind of things. A crazy mirror maze is going to be set up.
Oh.
In the next few days, it takes about a day or two to be erected. But they need to know where they've got space to work with. There'll be several tavern crawls throughout that time if you want to just go drinking for the older members of the group, of course. And the food vendor will be here all week, so you can always come back here for if you want more drinks. And if you want to try and win a prize or getting a flump, then I mean you'll always be able to come back and buy your own if you need more from there. We've also got it will be a general talk from some of the different colleges that are looking to hire or looking for work with scholarship or anything. There'll also be a spell meeting as well. There'll be a tent nearby where individuals will be discussing spells that they've made and discoveries and stuff. And it's more just a place to go if you want to learn weird and new things about different individuals,
Okay.
different parts of the world and stuff. Other than that, it's mainly just to head around and see what you can get from the different vendors. There are also their own events, but they aren't on the list. People casting specific spells, learning new things, and going through that. But other than that, it's just a matter of explore, see what you can find.
Okay.
Sometimes you find some unexpected stuff.
I shall do. I shall do. This evening, are you staying round the inn?
Yeah, I'll be in the Twisted Tap. I plan to speak to Dav now before it gets really busy in the evening, and then from there I'll probably be setting up shop, and I'll be doing my exploring tomorrow.
Okay. I'll try and catch you in the tavern, and I can go over the spell if you want.
Yeah,
Give you a
sure.
breakdown.
That sounds like it could work.
Okay. Cool.
All right. Well, you all take care.
Have fun.
Otherwise, wanders off with the other three. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and for reference on what they had, just so you can get a general idea of what they got. The mimic, where you find out, is a large burger with tomatoes, pickle, lettuce, relish, and meat patties in it. And there are eyes of what look to be pickled globe fruit on the top, and teeth that are made of a hardened cheese. The caustic cauldron is a red meat stew with various roots and different types of bread that go with it. Brought in a very authentic kind of cast iron cauldron, a small one, mind, but still a cauldron all the same. The loot pile you obviously already knew, and the ooze surprise is what looks to be this kind of long drinking tub of what looks to be jelly with various sweets of some form that have been designed and shaped in the form of bones and bugs that are scattered throughout, along with what looks to be a mini adventure at the bottom. Some form of collectible, you're not sure.
Interesting.
But the one who orders the ooze surprise kind of takes a little collectible, puts it in a small pouch at his side, and wanders off with the others. So, what do we have so far? So, going to the potions people. That is Romulus and Vinny. Nope. Curve.
Curve.
Romulus and Curve. Heading over, you can see what looks to be a large tented stand area, similar to the ones around here. This one, however, you can see is set up with all manner of these rows of potions on display, set up on stands, almost like miniaturized Bunsen burners that hold these small vials and potions of all variety of colors in here. You can also see what looks to be flasks and almost like miniaturized casks or bottles of liquids. As you approach, you can see a rather large, again, Ortuck individual, grey rhino skin, the horn from the tip of their nose, a smaller one than the other one, but the ears otherwise pierced on both sides as the individual in question otherwise looks down at the two of you. Welcome, welcome. Looking to buy some potions for the road?
Potion seller, I require your strongest potion.
Potion seller? I have a variety of potions, depending on what you'd be after. I have healing potions, greater or superior if you're intrigued. You seem the adventurer's type. I have mana potions for those of a more magical inclination. I have some that could aid in your strength or your resilience against foes. Ones that'll help you against the colder climates of the south. Or possibly you need to get somewhere in particular. Or maybe you're looking to better your weapons in the strength that it might have. Or something to hinder your foes, perhaps. Or a new line of concoctions that have recently been created.
I have, first things first, healing potions. How many you got?
How many do you need? I gotta spread the stock out between people. I can't be bought out entirely. So I'll say I've got 25 for sale for you two.
Right. Is that base healing, or is that including the greater and superior?
That's base healing. If you're looking for ones that are stronger, like a greater or superior, I've only got a few superiors in mind. Greater I have a reasonable backstock of. I'll probably get you 8 of those at most.
Understood.
Basic
How much
healing a
does
50, greater a 250, and then
Mhm.
superior 2,500.
Understood. So personally, my thought is it would be pretty spicy to go for too much. Like, just not really got the option there. However, I'm willing to buy as many base healing potions as necessary. And I think I'm also quite willing to buy at least one greater healing potion. That is bearing in mind that at this precise moment, I'm not thinking about any other potions that we might require. Does anyone have any specific ones they're looking for?
Can't say I am.
No.
A mana potion would be useful. I'll pick one up if you don't wind up with
Yeah,
any.
I've got 2 mana potions, so I'm not too pressed for them.
Yeah. Now, Vinny, do you use spell slots or spell points?
Points.
Okay, cool. So yeah, mana potions will still function the more efficient route for you.
Okay. How do they work otherwise?
A base mana potion restores a first level spell slot, greater restores a third, and then a superior restores a fifth. Otherwise, it's a 1d4 plus 1 for base mana potion, which is between a first level spell and a third level, depending on the roll. Superior is 2d4 plus 2, so a base of a second and a half level spell, and at max a seventh. And a superior mana potion is 4d4 plus 4, which is a base of a 6th level spell and maximum of 9th plus.
Okay.
But their price is also higher. It's double plus for compared to healing potions.
Okay.
Unfortunately for Curve, these don't do anything for you if they're of a too lower quality because of your pact magic.
Mm-hmm.
And what have we got in terms of assisting combat?
Assisting combat, I have various potions of resistance that could help you out. All variety of damages that are quite useful. 240 a pop for most of the common damage types. For force and necrotic, they're a bit more expensive as they are less resisted and harder to enchant potions, shall we say. So they're 280. Got a potion of Frost Giant Strength in the back. Not many wizards want it, so if you want it because you're more of the adventurous type, then by all means it could still be quite useful for you. It's more on the expensive side for 1,500, but if you're willing to buy more things, I'm sure I could cook a deal in there. Got potions of jumping to help you get from place to place. Potion of invulnerability to make sure that you're not basically an upgraded potion of resistance. 2,200, a bit more on the pricey side. More for your higher level folk who are looking to take down something of grand magnitude. Potions of warmth if you're going to a cold place. Potions of climbing if you're planning on climbing things. And a potion of invisibility. 5,500, it's a bit of a mock-up if you ask me, but it's still pretty good. It's same as a 4th tier magic if you know how to use it right.
Right. Okay.
Combat-wise, otherwise, we do have various oils as well. We have Imbual Oil, Greater and Superior of those, Spark and Lightning Oil, Fire and Dragon Oil, Draining and Stinking Oil, and Speed Oil. So all of those could be useful for you if you're interested.
What does speed oil do precisely?
Costs 3,400, but it allows you to quickly swing your weapon without a worry. For the next minute, you can make weapon attacks as a bonus action as well. So you can apply this to your halberd, and your halberd can then make an attack as a bonus action, keeping all modifiers such as damage and attack and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah. Most of the others do so Spark, Lightning, Fire, and Dragon Oil They provide an elemental bonus of a plus 1d4 damage for lightning, fire, and fire for 1 minute or an hour, depending on if you buy the lesser version or the greater version. Imbual oil makes your weapon magical, gives it a +1 or a +2 bonus for greater or superior for 1 hour. Draining oil applies the Bane effect to a target for 1 minute, so -1d4 to attack rolls and ability checks.
Is that
And
one target or just whoever I hit within that minute?
whoever you hit with it for the next minute, but the oil only lasts a minute. So you have to apply it as a bonus action, and then then the people you hit for the next minute have a -d4 to all of their attack rolls and ability checks.
Pretty
for
surprisingly
next
potent,
turn.
really.
Yeah.
Mm.
That one's 2,500. It's not a cheap one for the draining oil. And then the stinking oil applies disadvantage to the target's next roll when they are hit. Doesn't stack with itself. So prioritizing attacking multiple creatures. And that also lasts a minute. Is 1,400.
Now the real. What happens if I apply all of the oils at once?
Oh God!
Then you can apply them all at once. The main thing is that if you apply the stinking oil and the draining oil, that's already 3,900 gold's worth of stuff for an effect that will last 1 minute. After the minute, all of the oils disappear. The oil's effect is no longer present.
Holland,
That is hilarious.
Holland,
as an
don't
idea.
curse this world with him.
Slipinator!
Oh no! I've heard about this.
Yeah, Sam has told us about him, and I would like to say I approve because I used Sleet Storm and Grease in another campaign I was in and destroyed a combat because it requires 4 saving throws to even get to me. Anyway. Notes for anybody looking to do stuff in the future. Cast Sleet Storm and then cast Grease underneath it. It doesn't freeze the grease because it's oil, and people have to make 2 saves to go over it or fall prone. And if you put it on and you stand in front of the grease, they then have to end their turn and roll another save. Gets to their start of their next turn, they have to make another save. They have to make 2 more actually, so it's pretty nasty. Anyway,
Grease, baby.
I know. We also have brews as well. They're again combat use sort of thing. You throw them at somebody and they cause an effect. We got corrosive brews, virulent brews, explosive brews, slime brews, tangle brews, gas brews, choking brews, polluting brews, dazing brews, flash brews, frost brews, freeze brews, and corrupting brews, causing different effects. And if you're trying to avoid something, might be worth picking up one of the new concoctions we got. We got repellents or we got scents. Repellents allow you to ward certain creature types off, and scents attract them to you.
Right. Well, how much would the potion of frost giant strength set me back?
Potion of Frost Giant Strength is 1,500, but if you're willing to buy other things as well, other ones that are a bit more less used, like some of the oils or brews, I'm sure I can cut the price a bit.
Right. I don't have that much money on me at this precise moment, but the bank is always available. So that's...
Yeah, you'd have to go to the bank, but yeah.
Could just be like, look, just hold on to that for like a minute. Let me just go to the bank.
Nobody's going to buy it unless another adventuring group comes along, in which case you'll be bidding for it.
Noted. But that would be a strength score of 25, right?
Correct. For let me double check. I believe it's 1 hour.
I believe so.
Potion of Frost Giant Strength. For the next hour, it's a strength score of 23, not 25.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that's only really a substantial increase of 1. So yeah, that's not worth it for me. I think I must have been thinking of Stone Giant.
Fire Giant is probably what you were thinking of.
I thought Fire Giant was 26.
Nope. Fire Giant is 25.
Oh, which one's 26? Storm Giant? Cloud Giant? Who cares? Anyway, my thought process is this:
27 for Cloud Giant and 29 for Storm Giant. There is no 26. They're all in the odd intervals. And Stone Giant isn't in there because it got left out. Oh no, it's also 23.
Fair enough. Yeah, there's no reason to go for that then. My thought process is I'm going to focus on healing. Have they got any potions of enlarged reduce?
No, afraid not. We've run out of those. Had them on there a few months ago, but not since, I'm afraid.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, Rook came through and bought them all.
I created such a vacuum in the Empire.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, even now, Rook comes through and just buys up all the potions of enlarged reduce and then comes back several months later.
Well, actually, he is in the Alliance, so there is a chance.
Yeah, this is true.
Motherfuckers.
Look, you're the ones who caused this from campaign 1.
Fine,
Don't blame me.
You can arm wrestle him for one, I'm sure.
Why?
I think it's actually quite reasonable that I could manage that.
Could. Brooks.
Maybe.
That's a little terrifying, but yeah.
I didn't say I'd manage it well. I'm just saying it's possible. Because I can buff myself up to uncomfortably large.
Rook's strength 29. Why would it be 20?
How in the fuck?
No, I think I increased it because I took that potion before we killed.
Yeah.
Buddha.
You still have the belt of fire giant strength. You
Yeah,
should have a strength score of 25.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's some bullshit right there. Still possible, just
You're a level
like-
20 party. Don't talk to me about stuff being BS, alright?
fine. There was definitely a potion effect
There
happening.
was. I vaguely
Yeah.
remember taking a potion, but yeah, no, he's got a base of 25 with his belt.
Damn. I mean, look, I can't knock it, you know.
We created a vacuum in campaign 1 of potions and magic items.
Yeah. Yeah, you did.
And diamonds.
Yes. Why do you think there's very few diamonds here?
Don't worry, guys. I just need any gem.
Hooray!
The advantage of Runesmith.
lots
It's
of
400
ink and
GP
paper.
of any diamond.
Any diamond?
Any gemstone, sorry, not any diamond. I'm losing it now.
Oh,
So,
it-
you want anything in particular? Well, how about you, miss? You after anything interesting?
Oh, I think I've spent enough, but thank you.
If you're sure. You never know when you might need a healing potion fix.
Well, I already have one, but thank you.
in terms of healing potions, I think I would be quite interested.
How many you want?
Let's say... Yes, let's say 5 normal healing potions and
Alright.
1 greater.
That'll run you back 500 gold for the lot of it.
I'm aware. Give me a moment. How much does each one weigh? Do they have a weight, or are they just...
Not that I remember. I think it's like 0.5 or something per.
something to the point where we don't care?
Yep, it's Romulus. I don't care. You have like so much carry work capacity.
Yeah, it is kind of silly sometimes. I gotta admit. Oh, there we go, and greater healing potion.
So 1 greater and 5 regular healing potions. Anything else you wanted to buy? And if Kat and Vinny, if you wanted to spend coin here as if Romulus had bought it in your stead, you're welcome to as well. If you wanted mana potions or health potions.
I don't
No.
suppose you have anything that would transform someone into, let's say, a small animal.
No, I don't think I have anything of that, no.
Anything at all that does anything like that? Or
Nothing that would transform? No.
do you
Like
have...
there are...
do you have any those brews you mentioned that do
Yeah.
dangerous things? Do you have? Oh, now obviously I know most potions tend to be liquid. Do you have any powders or anything like that?
No, most of this is already a solution that's been made using powders and liquids.
Hmm. So wouldn't be able to get a hold of any of the wholesale. Got it.
No.
Understood. Well, that is the only question I had.
All right.
Thank yes. So that is enough for me. I believe that should come to a total of 500 gold pieces. Is this correct?
Yeah, that sounds about right to me.
How much were mana potions, by the way?
They are marked up slightly here because of it being WizardCon and people wanting mana potions if they can't make them themselves. So they, instead of being 100 gold pieces each, they are 120.
Yikes.
Daylight robbery.
Well, you know, it's a
Yeah.
con.
I mean, I'm still. Yeah.
I'm
I'm still gonna buy two.
How much did you going to say, sorry?
I'm gonna buy two.
Two of them? Okay. And they recover 1d4 plus 1 spell points.
Mm-hmm.
The greater ones, which restore 2d4 plus 2, are 550 for no.
Cool.
And then superior ones are 10,050, or 10,500, sorry. Because again, they have been marked up because con.
Disgusting.
Right, well, if that's all you're after, then I wish you well. Take care, and look forward to seeing you if you come back for any, if you need any more before then. Gives a nod.
Excellent. Thank you for your time.
And now we move over to the scrolls vendor. As you otherwise return, Rosie has otherwise gathered up a few scrolls and put them in a neat pile. And you can see one wizard has come over and bought what looks to be a few scrolls, hands over some platinum pieces, begins to kind of converse for a little bit, before she kind of waves them, not necessarily waves them off or is shooing, but kind of gives them a wave and then looks back to you. Ah, welcome.
Hi.
You were looking for summoning-based magics,
Mm-hmm.
so I took that as the Conjuration School.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Excellent. Well, I have... Looks around the looks around at the list of ones that they've got. I have a Dust Devil scroll that'll summon a small torrent of air that will deal some damage over a longer period of time. I have the Summon Shadow Spawn or Summon Fey spells, which could be of use. Stinking Cloud and Sleet Storm are also some strong conjuration-based magics. Thunder Step, although that's not necessarily conjuring to make allies, it still conjures. I have a Flaming Sphere spell scroll that could work well for you in creating a small ball of fire. I also have a Dimension Door spell if you're in a tricky situation, as well as a Faithful Hound spell and a Summon Construct spell.
Okay. Out of
You
the...
did say only up to 4th, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. Okay. How much are respectively the Summon Fey, the Dimension Door, and Summon Construct?
The Summon Fey as a 3rd tier is 200 gold for the spell scroll of that one. The... what was the next one? Dimension Door. There's a 4th tier, and so would sit at about 750 gold.
Okay. And the last one was Summon Construct.
Summon Construct. That one is on the rarer side, as fewer know it than normal, so that one sits at 800 gold. but is a strong spell nonetheless. Considerably one of the more dangerous ones, if you know how to use it correctly.
Okay.
Good to see one so young taking interest in the old art of wizardry, especially runesmithing.
Mm-hmm. I just have a quick little look. Okay. Cool.
But if you're looking to prepare for future ones, I do have more in my setup for future collections or spells you may need. I also have ones from distant magics from further afield if you're interested.
Okay. I mean, there's no harm in hearing this out.
Well, you mentioned summoning, and I thought it may be of interest to you that I bring this one up with you. Although it is not the same as normal, it is a interesting school of magic nonetheless. I don't have many from it, but it could serve you well. I have the Clawed Chain Entomancy spell, along with Spider Form and Echo Beetle.
Echo Beetle. I know spider form.
Ah, so you're already akin to using Entomancy.
Yes, I guess so, yes. Yeah.
Yes. Echo Beetle gives you a shield of sorts that allows you to use it to aid you in a manner.
I'm gonna lean over to Kay here. What's entomancy?
It's a school of magic.
I think it's the one where you control trees.
It's the one where you control bugs.
Ah.
So Echo Beetle works as follows. Bonus action for a minute. You gain a shield that otherwise morphs to the edge of your arm as a giant beetle grows from it. The shield provides a +2 to your AC that a normal shield would, and provides you the benefits of any normal shield, including if you were to pick up Shieldmaster. However, when a creature that attacks you misses, you may send out a wave of force as a reaction that causes them to make a Constitution saving throw or take 2d10 force damage, and be pushed away from you by 10 feet. On a success, a creature takes half damage and isn't pushed. You are considered to be proficient in shields automatically, in addition to casting the spell. The shield can also be destroyed by a dispel magic if it is cast on it. At higher levels of every 2 levels, going from 4th or higher, the damage increases by 1d10.
Oh, okay. So, and this isn't concentration.
No, it's just 1 minute of you have a shield you gain proficiency in.
So what you're saying is, between many of my spells, there is potential that my AC can just be absolutely bonkers if I want to, Sentinel Ward and this, and should I want to use Shield.
Yes, the problem will be that the moment you cast this, you lose a free hand, so you'll need Warcaster if you wish to use your staff.
Okay, I see.
Because as it currently stands, you do not have the free hand if you were to use a staff / Cychania.
Mm-hmm. Right, okay. So that's one for... Okay, right.
So there might be one for later. It's also 2nd level, so it's not expensive.
Fair, okay. And what about the Clawed Chain?
The Clawed Chain, again, is a bonus action, and it lasts a minute. A long centipede-like insect ruptures forth, with legs and teeth prepared to grab and hold the target fast. This whip does 2d4 slashing damage, but has a reach of 30 feet, and gives you an additional to hit and damage equal to your spellcasting ability modifier. So you get to use your dex for the attack roll, plus you get to add your intelligence on top of it. When hitting a foe with this whip, you may choose to wrap them up, grappling and restraining the target, and automatically dealing damage to them as a bonus action on each of your turns, including the turn in which you wrap them up. You do not automatically gain proficiency in this weapon. Unlike the shield, you do not gain the proficiency.
Okay, and I wouldn't have proficiency with this.
No, not with whips, no. This is a spell that is more designed for people who might decide to go Spellblade or start as particular races.
Okay. They're really cool to think, but I think at the moment I'll probably set with... Yeah. I'll probably go with Summon Fae and Dimension Door.
Of course. So that will be 950 gold for the two of them.
I have 30 gold. Cool beans. Okay, yes, I'll hand over that inventory. Cool. That takes me down to 3 platinum.
Pleasure doing business with you.
Oh, thank you. That's incredibly useful. Thank you very much. You got anything in mind, Vinny?
Well, I'm not so much of a conjuration expert, but any useful utility spells would be most helpful.
Utility. Any school of magic you prefer, or just anything in particular?
I'm not really a specialist. Anything that could give me more options. I only know a pretty limited number, so ones that are more situational would be helpful.
I have a few charm person scrolls, so long as you're not going to use them on me.
Oh, of course not.
I have a hold person scroll in one of these slots somewhere that could be of use to you. I have a greater illusion and a silent image spell, or major image, sorry, and a silent image spell, as well as a scroll of invisibility, which could come in handy.
Invisibility would be very helpful. How much is that going to be?
It's only going to be 120 gold.
I'll take it.
Would you like one or two?
There are peasants who don't see 120 gold in their lifetime, and here we are.
Yeah, I think I'll take 2.
Wonderful. So 240 gold for 2 scrolls of invisibility.
Cool.
Okay.
We really are the bourgeoisie.
Not yet. You get more money later.
Look, we can become the hyper bourgeoisie later. I'm just saying, right now we're already far.
I also have a scroll of feather falling, if that might be of use to you. I also have one of Earthbind, a very reliable way to bring down a escaping flying target. Or if you're looking to find something, I do have a locate object scroll in somewhere around here.
Locate object could be useful. I'll take one of those if you have it.
Of course. So locate object. Yeah. You take that. That would be 2nd level spell, so 100 gold. As you otherwise hand over some of the cash for that one. She looks at one of the coins that you give. Is this gold or platinum, by the way?
For the locate object is gold.
Okay. You otherwise hand over some of the gold, and she hands one of the coins back to you. You see that the coin itself has what looks to be the image of a hat on the top of it. This is returned to you. make good use of it.
I certainly will.
I have spent so much money. Why do I never get this shit?
Because I roll a d100 and Vinny got a 98.
I have one too.
Yeah, Vinny is bluffing that he knows what this is.
Yeah. Unfortunately, throughout all of this with people spending, none of you have really gotten any. So.
No, that's fair. I have
Just
one.
bloody rude is what it is.
It's chance. Leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make the dice gods angry. Or you will use your d20 privileges and they will strike you hard.
At least if they were angry, they'd be fucking interesting.
What have you done? Well, if that will be all, I hope you all enjoy your WizardCon, and I hope to see you at the next one.
Mm-hmm. I hope to see you too. You take care, and thank you very much.
Yes, thank
You're
you.
welcome. She goes back to minding a few of them before another patron comes up and begins to talk to her, and she's like, I have one over here. And goes back to working in that sense. Okay. As the two of you begin to reconvene with the rest of your team, spending whatever gold it may be at the other respective shops, and finishing up your day at WizardCon, I'll say you head back to the Twisted Tap, where your first day begins. And I will say for the next session, what we will do is we will go through the next 6 days with relative swiftness. If there's any shops you wish to attend or anything you wish to try and look for or go to, and we'll see what happens. And if there are any events on that you're intrigued in, then we can go through those. But for now, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and we will see you next week when we will continue this adventure once more. Bye bye.